what is going to be the score prediction for you? Just give me a number. That's all I want to know.
LeLib versus Justeeni. I'm going 1-2. 2-1.
2-1. You think Justeeni's going to take it?
It's going to be close.
I reckon LeLiberateur. I'm going to say it 2-0. Liberateur 2-0. Now,
2-0.
we are now getting ready, and in we go for our first semi-final. Liberateur over here in the east. In yellow, we have Justeeni Lingueeni in the west. Very far apart. Take me through this starting lineup.
Yeah, so I mean, just as a turn 0 tribe, like, to explain maybe for those unfamiliar, turn 0 just means that they're able to upgrade their capital on turn 0. You're seeing both players go for that, using all of their stars and get that workshop upgrade, just get the economy started. Start the game off with a few more stars before picking up some more warriors for expansion. What we're really looking for is you just really hope that all of your cities at least have that one farm to get you started. Justeeni's already going into fishing. And a 4th warrior. Okay.
Every
Both
time you
players
commentate over Justeeni, you seem surprised.
You know, you gotta keep yourself guessing. I mean, hold on. But yeah, no, two very different openings right here. You have construction from LeLib. So you'll see construction. I'm probably from both players eventually. I'm actually maybe Justeeni doesn't care about construction at all here, and he's going to go into riders and roads. After expanding on the water of fishing. But I imagine construction is like an eventually thing that he's looking at. But construction is good for getting your cities up to like the highest levels. And if you're looking at trying to, you know, brute force your opponent with some giants, some early confrontation like that. But
which of these positions do you think is preferable right now? If you're sitting there thinking, how am I going to play it? I want to ask two questions. Firstly, which do you think has the better spawn? The second is, where do you think the flashpoint's going to be?
It's really interesting because of like there's not too many villages in the middle of the map, I'll say. Usually if there's like something to fight over in the middle of the map, you know, some kind of tension to keep, then you can start like analyzing who has the better chance at like taking over those objectives. But right here, like the question is, what are they fighting over? Because there's just like nothing in there. I mean, there's this ruin, but like LeLib is just going to grab that. So the question is, who's going to be playing like better for the long game? Who's going to be having the stronger position set up for all of that? And yeah, in terms of just economy, I like Justeeni's position. I think he's got easier access to more villages right away. And the fishing is going to be especially useful. I mean, the problem with construction for LeLib here is just that his resources and like actually getting his giant, I think is going to be a little delayed anyways, and he'll be a little weaker on expansion, especially if Justeeni's able to make attacking on the water, like taking that Lausanne city or something. It seems like possible in the future. But I think we're getting, like, we should get settled in here, like, take a little break, like, you know, I don't know, pour a cup of tea, whatever. Get a snack. They're going to be, like, taking this to the late game, probably.
I'm liking the look of this little lake. I really am. I think there's going to be a lot going on here. And I personally do favor Justeeni in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, not just getting fishing.
I don't think he's going to go late game. I know you know more than me in all of these things, but I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I think we're going to see something on that lake. There's going to be a flashpoint there, and there's going to be a mistake made. That's the official late prediction. It means nothing.
I mean, I'm quite fond of the official late prediction.
Yeah. It's been wrong most times.
I'm not discounting that. I'm going to say that's 100% possible that something like that happens. But yeah, I wonder if okay. Last time LeLib did make it to Stockholm, and it was a pleasure to, you know, just be in the hotel lobby with these players, like world-class players, playing a game. Like, you know, LeLib would be there, like standing behind my laptop, watching me play Polytopia, telling me where to put my markets. And I'm wondering if he's looking at his own markets in this game right now, too. Like, he's getting these two windmills set up, but he just doesn't have the land tiles around them. He does have the single market around his cap, but Seems a little expensive, especially for like a level 4 market, level 5. Need all those techs and everything. But yeah, I think the longer this game goes, the more it benefits LeLib here. Justeeni had rapid expansion, that's going to make all of his techs much more expensive. So the things like construction and, you know, getting his cities upgraded to the highest levels. I mean, you're already seeing the income disparity, like 15 stars against 12 right now, even though Justeeni is up a city.
Yeah.
I think that's also from like just the number of workshops we saw versus a couple explorers Justeeni took.
We'll say Liberateur thinking a lot more, maybe feeling the pressure a bit more. Because look at the Glocks, look at the diamonds.
Yeah, I think he's got two big options here. He could go into fishing and get a port to put his warrior in, which is why he hasn't moved it southwest yet. Or he could burn the forest around his capital and go ahead and get a giant right away. But he's deciding right now. He needs to figure out if he wants to work on water expansion or if he's going to go for the giant first. The giant on his capital is a little too far away for him to quickly bring it in. Okay, I thought he was going to go with a port. But he's just using fishing to go ahead and pick up the giant. So no burning for the giant. But I wonder where he puts the... Well, I think he could have used the Park of Fortune, then put a port down. But he wants to move southwest anyways. Maybe he's going to use it down on that... Okay, putting it there. I think that's a very nice spot. I think he's going to go for border growth on Luzon in the future. He's got a very nice windmill spot with border growth. It's going to be very expensive to burn all those forests, but I think that's the idea with that placement. He can keep his market, because otherwise you would want to save that water tile for a port, I imagine. I don't know how to describe this, but like while I'm watching this, I'm just like seeing him just like stop and like not move at all. It is exhilarating for me because I know like what he's thinking about. He's like looking at his markets and like the late game setups and everything, and it's just all invisible, and I just have to like imagine what it is. Like it's the anticipation of knowing that he's coming up with the correct decision and just like seeing what he's going to do with
Archery?
it. So a nice archery ruin and another explorer from Justeeni. He's going to clear the fog around that ruin so he doesn't take another explorer. Okay.
He goes for it anyway. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
If you want proof, is he
Yeah,
gonna get
4
it? He does.
explorers.
There's that far corner.
Yeah.
That's nice though. Basically the entire map.
Yeah, there we go.
For all intents and purposes, the entire map is now revealed to him. And here's the giant on turn 8.
He says we can go giant for giant. It's okay, Lilith. So I think he might want to incorporate some of these archers into his game plan too, but I guess I'm wondering where he's putting them. I think he needs an archer on that Como city. He's going to try to keep LeLib off that village that he's stepping on in the north. I think LeLib should be able to keep it though, even without getting any right. Wow, he attacks.
Interesting.
Okay.
I really wish I could say something intelligent here, but I think we're both feeling a little bit surprised that some, like in the recent couple of decisions that have been made. I like it though.
Yeah. I like the aggression in the center of the map. I feel like Justeeni's realizing. I think he's saying that he doesn't need to fight for that village in the northeast. Like he would extend himself too far if he starts running for that. So he's just going to have to kind of concede it to LeLib. But yeah, this was the idea here. You can heal if you're 5 health, but you're not going to attack my archer that I've trained up in the front. And now I have this really nice centrally trained archer. I can use the archer and my warrior to kill you back. So I've effectively traded like warrior for warrior and done a couple points of damage to your other warrior there. So it is a trade that benefits Justeeni. The alternative route for LeLib would have been to attack the archer and then ignore the warrior there, but yeah, Justeeni benefits in that case too. So there we go. Solid tactics there. You gotta pick up all the advantages you can.
No, he's in
They
the
both
water.
have fishing, but
He's in the water.
ports for LeLib.
But Justeeni's in the water, and I think he's gonna try and cement that. Now, crucially, Lib doesn't know that he's in the water. He doesn't know the extent to that lake, and he obviously isn't going to be aware that he potentially needs to maybe not like a rush to defend it, but has to have some idea of how to counter what's, in my opinion, inevitably going to come.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing that we're seeing here is the difference in strategy. Like the expansionist, explorers everywhere from Justeeni, versus the really conservative plays from LeLib. But you'd be forgiven for not even realizing that LeLib is supposed to be weaker at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
With these strategies. Like he's got more income already, and he's going to pick up maybe another workshop up in the north. Maybe he takes an explorer here. Who knows? Yeah, no, he's going all in on the income. I'm a fan of this, but if Justeeni's able to make some kind of big breakthrough like you were talking about in the water, like steal some city, and then just play out the game, just having more cities, having control of that South Lake. 2 very good ruins.
There you go.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he wants to. He gets those stars and he's like, "Yep, I'm going roads, right to roads."
Immediately, right, step in. So,
yeah, so I think
he's gonna try and prevent that village. Can he stop it? I know he can.
Yeah, I think what he can do is get ramming next turn and then siege that city.
He also does have those sort of
in the
2
south.
units in the south that they have to go somewhere. They're really just a bit lost at the moment. I imagine he'll bring them back and put them in his water.
Yeah, I think he might even want another port just to get the swordsman into the game faster. Yeah, how does he live on up near this? The city in the south is also pretty bad. There's only a single fruit resources there.
It's not ideal for the people of whatever that town's going to be called. Now, what would you consider to be late game? What turn is late game in your mind?
I feel it's less turn and more like once all the villages have been captured, once you've got the text that you're going to win or lose the game with.
All villages being captured, I think, is mid game.
Mid game.
Yeah, I feel like because it's going to be essentially next turn. I don't think you can be like, well, then where's mid game? What would you consider mid game? If early game is turn 1, what's mid game?
I consider this mid game.
Yeah,
right now.
I agree.
Like when they're contesting stuff in the middle and everything. Like there's a fight for that village up north. Justeeni hasn't revealed his hand and showed that he has riders or roads. But with those 2 roads up in the north, he's going to be able to kick the Lib off that village.
Lib again running out of time. This has been an issue with him in previous qualifiers. It was his first time making in the semi-final last time out with the Quetzali tribe. So maybe if momentum's to be believed, this time he should get it to the finals, then lose, and then the next one he'll be the tribe champion of. There you go. Takes the village.
Yeah, the ramming suggestion was obviously a little incorrect.
Well, it's a red herring because you want to pretend that you aren't in fact Justeeni Lingueeni.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean really it's just a question of stars because he needs the couple roads up north to kick him off that village, so he doesn't have stars for ramming, and it costs the same amount to just siege like this anyways.
I have a couple of statistics for you that I've been keeping track of throughout the
I'm
going to reveal them like as we play. The first one is typically the player that gets more kills in the first sort of like 15 turns. I don't really want to put a number on it, mainly because I can't read my own writing and it's smudged. But typically the player that gets the more early kills tends to do a lot better. So even if a player might be in a better position, it's those early kills that do actually quite matter. I think that's mainly because it represents like control of resources, control of villages, that sort of thing. So we'll see if that comes into play here today. But I'm willing to bet on the statistics here.
Yeah, I think that's wise. Justeeni does have the units to kick LeLib off that village again.
Will he?
Yeah, I feel like this is the other like plus side of the kind of rapid expansion playstyle that we saw Justeeni going for. It's really the ruins. All of those ruins that he got, he got archery from a ruin, he got stars from a ruin, the veteran swordsman, who I think will be useful later on, not quite yet. But look at how they're he's using them, everything he got from those. And it basically is his game plan. Without those ruins, LeLib would have that village up in the north, and he would have a position to play from. But because he was able to get those and he had, good value out of them, like he's kind of crushing right now. The giant that LeLib's trying to push down the center is in a pretty weak spot, just for the fact that he's coming up against, Justeeni, who has archers. Like, there's nowhere really good to put your own giant. And then how do you counter Justeeni's giant that he's pushing around there? Like, Justeeni has kind of control of the center of the map. Like, there's neither player's making much headway there. And Justeeni's just prodding along the edges. Like, he's stealing the village in the southeast. He's going after the village up in the north.
I do like this sort of aggressive play. Again, look, that's another village that has sea access, or lake access, I should say, that Liberateur's not going to be able to use for another turn. Do I think he'll be able to hold that village for long? No. But, having said that, again, that scout now has picked off 2 of Liberateur's, or at least done damage to 2 of Liberateur's units. So I do, look, I think we're sleeping on the water access here. I've always, again, I don't want to say all the statistics too early, but sea access, there's only been one time where a player has, was it? It's either 1 or a 3. Dude, I gotta get better. You know what? Next time I'm taking notes on a PC. 1 or 3 times where a player has hit the C second and come back and bounce back from it. So it's it just does show it. It's quite important. Where's he off to?
I really enjoy your statistical approach.
Yeah, me too. Considering that so far
discussions.
I'm 0 for 2 and being that confident in my statistics. You know what? At this point, I'm just gonna start making them up.
Who's gonna check you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know that 100% of Polytopia players play Polytopia.
It's crazy, right? Did you know that 50? Yeah, no, I'm not.
50% of Polytopia players are below average.
Yeah,
right?
that's crazy.
It's honestly kind of pathetic.
Get better. Simply train.
Right. What was the idea down in the south?
I don't know.
We're gonna see the border growth because yeah, if I called the border growth, then I can feel good about myself for the day.
We're casting something, right? Eh?
Yeah. He can get another giant this turn, but he definitely needs like some riders, some warriors up front.
He does.
Like he's given up that north village to Justeeni. It's looking pretty crushing for Justeeni. Well, Justeeni looks like he's crushing the game right now.
I was about to say, I don't know what that means. Man's got 8 minutes on the clock. I mean,
I'm astounded. Like I feel like I can share this. There we were yesterday again watching bad movies. Willibom decided that he wasn't going to sleep at all, not a single time, not a single lick.
Every time I hear about Willibom's tactics review, I just get more concerned. It just doesn't seem healthy.
Willibom was inviting Justeeni. He's like, hey, I know it's like 2 a.m. for you and the tournament's gonna start at like 7 o'clock. Instead of getting 5 hours of sleep, do you want to get 0 hours of sleep with me?
Did he do it?
I don't know. I hope Justeeni got sleep. I think he did.
Well, this is mythical Polytopia fight. Well-rested Justeeni could be an interesting one here.
Yeah, but hearing Justeeni talk about my strategy for these games was to practice as little as possible so that I don't spoil myself with I just have to go in and like if I can win this, then I can win the whole thing. Like he's treating this like a little challenge. Like he still hasn't dropped the training weights or whatever. I'm like, well, how don't you just get some sleep?
You could just not. You could just stave off a lot of health problems in life by just sleeping on time.
It's the thing about like a lack of sleep is like a class 2 carcinogen, so
there you go. Look, we're not just here to cast Polytopia, but to encourage a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah,
fantastic. Right, back to the Polytopia though. What do you think is Justeeni's next
in spite
move?
of that?
Well, that.
So Justeeni's picked off the north and the south.
Okay.
He's got like the lake access, so we can see that like LeLib can siege the city in the south, but it doesn't really matter for anything because Justeeni just uses 2 scouts and then sieges this warrior every time. Justeeni he really wants to do is get rid of all his barriers to progress, which sounds really obvious, but you start asking the question, what are his barriers to progress? And it's that giant right there that's stopping him from sieging that city up north, and basically nothing else. So we're going to see Justeeni, I imagine, using his archers, using his giants to just deal as much damage to LeLib's giant right up by that northeast city as possible. Get a couple more of his own, potentially. I think LeLib goes ahead and picks up a giant on this city with some burning of the forests. Maybe he gets border growth on that city too, although I can't really see it happening. Right now he's blocking off what would be LeLib's like best sawmill spot. Sorry, not sawmill. Ooh, windmill. Different tribe.
It's over. It's over for you. You have to retire now.
Yeah,
It's my job to cast.
Well, see y'all later, never. I don't know.
Right. Well, again, I just want to highlight the difference in time on both players' clocks.
Okay.
Yeah, Justeeni, very, very, very quick to play. Clearly has a plan and is deploying it. We've seen sometimes that has gone against Justeeni's favor. I would say it's not been in his. He's not done it every time. And when he isn't able, sends that straight into the heart of Liberateur. And we might start to see the beginning. Oh, lovely. Beginning. I want to say beginning of the end because it's very, very early. But at least the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of the end.
Right.
Do you disagree? Or did you get lost?
No, I agree with you. It's just a little confounding the way that was expressed.
I think it's pretty clear. Chat agrees.
I think it was beautiful and lovely too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, what does Liberateur have to hope for?
So he has to defend himself, basically. Which, like, you can see the big attack up in the north right now. Yeah, LeLib's gonna siege that city for 1 star again. That'll show him. But
Doesn't seem worth it to me.
I mean, 5 health warrior. Like,
True.
he costs 2 stars. What else is he doing?
True. That's a
yeah,
life
LeLib's
right there, for sure.
Yeah, this game encourages you to take a cavalier.
Yeah, very
attitude.
cavalier. Humans or
Yeah.
sentient creatures are resources to be used. But he still can't see. He can't see the extent to which there's a navy. He knows there is a navy there, and he's not tried to counter it really. It does feel to me like he's being stretched thin in a way that Justeeni doesn't really need to worry about. If he moves any sort of unit south, then he's going to be exposed in the north. I mean, there's those 2 giants there. Again, we're seeing, to be fair, we're seeing roughly equal amounts of kills and equal amount of income. So it's not like there's a game here to be had for sure.
Oh, absolutely. If you're just looking, like, it's just it goes way back to the very beginning of the game, like fishing and expansion versus construction for more giants. LeLib's looking at trying to pick up. He just got another giant in the northeast city. He's going to run in with those 2, and then he can pick up another giant on his level 3 city right now. Oh, I'm interested. That's wow. He's positioning this veteran swordsman in range of LeLib's vision, inside those expanded city borders. And Justeeni's just sending his own giants in. Now these archers can advance, the veteran swordsman can advance. Yeah, it depends on how LeLib defends the city, and he needs to get himself set up on the water as well if he wants to win this game. But all of his stars are going into trying to defend his cities right now. Yeah, I think Justeeni just blocks with his veteran rider right where it is. Yeah, warrior steps on the city. And now you have to kill the veteran rider and the warrior on your city. Oh no.
Pulls it back.
Okay.
Well, he can just sustain this pressure.
Where's the-
He doesn't need to sort of full commit.
Yeah, I'm trying to find I can't remember if in those 2 towers of fog there was like another rider or something, but I think the warrior would have the siege there would have held, and then you can advance your own giants further if the rider stayed up there. But maybe there's another rider in the fog that I forgot about. Yeah, the rare workshop from Justeeni. Yeah, he's like, you can't see.
Oh, there we go.
Anymore. Yeah, LeLib's going to resign.
There we go.
He realizes he's losing that.
Can comfortably say Justeeni Lingueeni wins that 1-0. We have our first game, and a quick one indeed. Well, take me through it. What are your thoughts?
I think it really goes back, like I was saying, to those early decisions about like differences in strategy. These are like the two ways you're going to see Zebasi played for, big economy, and then against rapid expansion. And I think Justeeni played a very good rapid expansion game. He was rewarded for that with what he got from the ruins. He was rewarded for that with conquering that lake down there and stealing the village. I think if maybe we could have seen something else with LeLib, like with fishing imports earlier on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that sort of was, I don't mean to brag, but that's kind of what I was saying at the start. But a very good showing from Justeeni. Can you find it now? I have to ask this question. It's not combative.
Yeah.
Can you find any mistakes with Justeeni's gameplay there? Is there anything he could have done?
With Justeeni's? I think some of the tactics, like his strategy was pretty spot on. I liked most of the tactics he had there. Like, this isn't something where I've calculated it myself, right? It's just like, you give it the sniff test. You look at it and you're like, you probably could have optimized for that if you had like 24 hours for this turn.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Well,
like stolen the village earlier.
Speaking of time, he seemed very, very comfortable in playing very, very quickly, which, as we've seen, is incredibly important. I'm going to take everyone back to something you said on week 2 that I've been quoting as if I say it every single time, which is it's better to make your opponent think on their time, not yours. So if your opponent's in play, you can think about what you're doing, play fast, then it's their turn. Then they have to think about what they're doing on their own time. That turn timer goes down and down and down. And there it goes. Now, I do need to say that this is a best of 3. So, Justeeni Lingueeni is not through. LeLiberateur is not out. They're going to play 2 out of 3 games, potentially even 3. We've seen quite a heavy trend. I can bring up the statistics here, so get ready. Heavy trend for the whole 2-1. It's quite tricky to 2-0 your opponents. Only the really, really good players can achieve that, and it has to be kind of favorable for them. So any second now, we're going to be getting into the second game. But one thing I do want to say is I do enjoy reading the chat and sort of seeing everyone's takes on it. Unfortunately, we are 10 minutes or 20 minutes behind you guys to make sure the players can't get any sort of advantage by watching the stream because, well, obviously. Having said that, we do make sure to read out your comments. So let us know what you're thinking of the games and we'll bring it to light. What do you think LeLiberateur needs to do differently in the games going forward? And I'm not just talking about like, oh, the basic stuff of take advantage of his spawn. Like, this is a guy who's consistently hit the quarterfinals and semifinals, and he's just not quite been there enough. Do you think he's playing too slowly, for example?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think that's like his big central problem. Like, he's able to do like beautiful things with the fact that he, does those time sinks, that he invests into thinking like that and everything.
Yeah.
But it's also like his biggest problem. Like when he gets into a situation where he really needs that time to work out all the tactics and everything, he just doesn't have it because he spent it, optimizing his economy early game. Yeah,
absolutely. And sometimes you do need to kind of, I don't know, the YOLO it is the best way to describe it. Where you full send it, You have to be decisive. Sometimes, even if it's, look, a poor decision made in haste is a bad decision. A good decision that you take too long to make is also unfortunately a bad decision because it just doesn't give you the amount of time you need to think later on. Again, we're seeing, 8 minutes versus 30 seconds? Like, if he wanted to, he could have gotten up, nice little stroll, frankly, sprint to the shops, get back, make a quick cup of tea, and still had time to finish his turn. It's quite a large difference, and you have to think one of these days, Justeeni Lingueeni has to be tipped to go all the way, right? Do you think that the Zebasi tribe is his first choice? Or your first choice?
I mean, whoa. My first choice is Hoodrick. But, no, I think, Justeeni qualified with Zebasi last year before getting cut tragically in the last round against Dreamlander. If he went with them last year, I saw, like, a lot of people, I think RHHC, if he's still in the chat right now, he was making this joke during Quetzali, like, wow, Justeeni really doesn't want to qualify with Quetzali. I think maybe he did want to qualify with Quetzali.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he was playing, perhaps. But, I think, like, Zebasi is his preferred.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to have to see how much fire he has in him as we are about to start the next game to see if it's going to be 2-0 or we will be going to a best of 3 third match. Take it away. What are you seeing here?
Well, we're going over the exact same things with the opening in terms of, upgrading, getting that workshop. Going ahead, picking up, second warriors this turn. But big differences just in terms of where the lake is for them.
Yeah.
Like this is the classic big central lake. This is, you dominate the water and win this game. It's kind of a double-edged sword just for how it can a little bit impair like your expansion, like early game resources and upgrading. But look at the water access that LeLib has versus the complete lack over on Justeeni's side. If it turns out that Justeeni like is cut off from that, like he's going to have the advantage and an easier time starting off upgrading all his cities and everything. But just like we saw in that last game, like you need to get into the water. So we are seeing one water tile for him at least. And going into riding, so they're going to it's a kind of a repeat of game one.
Yeah.
In terms of their ideas and how they want to take this opening. Construction.
You have to think Justeeni's going to be sitting there thinking, if it worked last time, why not again? Give it another shot.
Well, I wonder if Justeeni wants to go ahead and use this rider. Whoa, he's taking Explorer first. I'm flabbergasted, really. I thought certainly he would go ahead, with his rider, and then get the farm there. He gets the 5 stars back, and then he can go ahead and take that upgrade. But I mean, maybe it's just because I see like all the water and stuff, and Justeeni doesn't. That like I know that the Explorer is not meeting in the middle. It's just a different map than last time, where there was some land connection in the center that you can meet on. But I mean, the idea I think behind going ahead and picking up the Explorer first is that if you get another lighthouse, then you don't have to send your rider backwards in getting that level 5 upgrade. But you have to get a lighthouse and meet your opponent in order for that to work. It feels like the safer one was getting the upgrade, but it's only cost him 1 star, so. So Justeeni has a quick 5 villages, and he's got some water access. The ports won't connect to his capital, but he's got riders, like he's going to go into roads and markets anyways. Not too worried there. And, what does LeLib want to do here? Like, obviously he's got into fishing, he's got construction. He wants to optimize and pick up the, get his economy going as fast as possible, so then he can just dump all of his stars into the water. Wow. That's inspiring, actually. I like that windmill a lot. Like, words fail me in describing, like, why that windmill is as good as it is.
It's not the one thing you don't want to hear as an audience when this casting. Words fail me.
Just look at the windmill and realize that it's beautiful, okay?
It's gorgeous.
I feel like I would be great at like a museum or like, a gallery director. I'd just be like, look at the painting. Isn't it cool? Let's we're going to see a giant from LeLib on the next turn. Taking advantage of, that construction. And ooh, nice workshop from Justeeni here. Wait, does Justeeni still not have fishing even? Oh, he doesn't even have fishing. Okay, well, that makes that a little more obvious. But there we go. We get the giant from LeLib. Already has fishing, so imagine. Yeah. Okay, that's also beautiful. We're going to see another giant on that Laco city in the coming turns. You might see an explorer on Boacacia as well. I think just looking at. I'm interested that Justeeni went for the ruin instead of the village down there. Like veteran swordsman's good, but feels like you've got you kind of need to go pick up that village and start getting into the water with how hemmed in you are. But both players should be able to pick up their grand bazaars just by different routes. I think Justeeni's going to go into roads eventually, or like not eventually, next turn. Or at least if he does it, I'd be very surprised. Like flabbergasted even. I wonder. Yeah, there we go. There's the port. The port that gets the 5 stars back and the giant into the water. He's got 16 stars. Does he go for the Explorer on Bomazim or does he go for a giant on Loco right now? I feel like it's the giant first. He's going for the Explorer. I would have been so embarrassed if he picked up a workshop there. But he didn't, so I don't have to be. And there we go. Just the easy South Lighthouse left for LeLib on his path to get Eye of God. I don't know. It's turn 8. It's too early.
It is very early,
also, I'm
that's
feeling
also a
like
very
that,
different school.
That 2-to-1 suggestion I had. I don't know. He's doing some more thinking. He's sinking in. He's got 2 minutes on his clock, so let's
He does like to use all his time. Now look, there's the argument being made, and I did see it in chat. There's the argument to be made that he's just using all of his time. He's being so efficient.
I haven't heard that referred to as efficiency before.
Well, you know, maximizing use. Otherwise, it's wasted. You're gonna finish the game with 9 minutes, okay? 9 minutes you could have had.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the only problem is when you need that time on a turn. And he hasn't had that issue yet this series, so. Am I implying that I think it's going to happen eventually? Maybe.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, Justeeni is picking up roads. Oh shit. Yeah, he's got a difficult path to getting his capital actually upgraded, but he'll get his own giant to try to get parity with LeLib in the next turn. It's not too far away. Yeah, LeLib's a couple turns out from his Eye of God. I don't know what he wants to do with that monument. I really like the border growth on this Loco city. I mean, if it could be like, you know, some potential for like cloaks target later on in the game, but the bigger, more pressing concern is where is Justeeni's water access? It's on that city south of that veteran swordsman, and you just stole 2 fish and 2 water tiles from him. And you're gonna push your own giant in. I think this might be a quick resignation from Justeeni even.
Now, having said that, Justeeni has been quite loath to resign in previous editions. He has a tendency to kind of stick it out. He does. Look, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, as you're so fond of saying. Am I saying it will happen? Maybe not.
Yeah, I wonder how he wants to do this. If he wants to, he just picked up sailing, so he could go ahead and, yeah, he's not going to kick the rider off there. There's no reason to kick the rider off the village. Like, the rider's going to attack the Juggernaut, and then the veteran swordsman should attack. But that makes another problem. Like, you lose your veteran swordsman. But in any case, like, you're not keeping that village. Yeah, really nice port there. Go ahead and pick up Grand Bazaar with just 2 more ports and 1 road. Is he gonna take an explorer here? Surely, right? Yeah. How does Justeeni want to do this? He's able to pick up that east city, but I mean, it's a really blunt attack. Like, there's a giant right there. How do you deal with that? You have a veteran swordsman, but again, how do you deal with that?
Was that a question
Like,
to me? Because I wasn't expecting there to be like a quiz today.
You gotta study for this job. You know?
I do.
No, but...
Believe me, I do. I study really hard.
I know. You had the statistics and everything.
I had
the handwritten
I
notes.
smudged them. Look, you have to understand there's a heat wave going on in England right now, right? And well, to be fair, a lot of Western Europe. So my hands, they're really sweaty. So picking up the pen made the ink run. Not ideal.
I guess Justeeni's plan is to just give up that city to the giant, rip an explorer there, say it's not that great of a city anyways, you're going to lose the population. He's connecting with roads instead of a port. So that LeLib loses the 1 population after stealing it. He's moving his veteran swordsman out of the way so it doesn't take splash damage. And yeah, he's got a different idea. He's just gonna go ahead and siege with the warrior right now. The splash damage he's done like this, Justeeni's going to need to use the veteran swordsman to unsiege his city here. The giant is also blocking that fish tile that Justeeni wants to upgrade with. Okay. I don't know how to explain all that's going on with that decision. I feel like it was still like better to siege with the giant.
Yeah.
And just take the city. But what he's doing here is he's saying, I'm just going to take the city and kill your veteran swordsman. I'm going to delay it by like a single turn, but that's going to be fine. Like, you can't do anything about it. And Justeeni's job is going to be saying, no, I can do something about it. But
can he is the question.
What he does, I don't know.
Let's find out. Again, this kind of like slower pace, I want to call it, from LeLib has suited him in the past when he just doesn't have the ability to put the pressure on in several different zones. It kind of makes it more of this sort of methodical game, which we know LeLib is a little bit more suited to. A little bit more chaos, and Justeeni could come back. That's not to say that Justeeni won't come back from this, because if anyone can, it is the more chaotic players that we have seen. But we'll have to see how this goes. But like you say, it's gonna be tricky.
Yeah, does he want to get that? Yeah, West Lighthouse. Justeeni, did he ever pick up the south one? Okay, he can pick up the south one with an explorer from that Kawaza city. But yeah, there's the veteran swordsman going to go ahead and take some retaliation damage from the warrior first. And then the giant's going to siege and deal some splash damage as well. While he also blocks off that fish tile and makes it more difficult for Justeeni to ever pick up the explorer that he wants. Wow, that's bold of Justeeni.
He's got to do something.
A couple of roads. Goes ahead, goes a long way there. I don't think there's a reason to pick up any units on Kawaza. Just a couple of stars wasted. I'm sure the giant sieges this next. I mean, I thought it should have sieged last. Okay, he's gonna go for org now, so he can pick up the explorer without needing that fish tile. And he really wants it to go pick up that south lighthouse, but it's running the opposite direction. It ran west instead of south. Yeah, that's basically Justeeni's last chance that I've got. Yeah, with this scout over in the east. I think Justeeni, he wanted to risk everything on picking up that city, taking the explorer, so that if the Kawaza one didn't go so well, he would go ahead and take an explorer there for the south lighthouse. But he should have known that there was no chance of him actually taking that city. I'm interested again in the fact that LeLib didn't just siege with the giant and just steal that Kawaza city. Like, yeah, he was able to pick up some splash damage and kill a warrior, but why don't we just steal the city?
Do you think it was
I really can't.
An alternative strategy, or do you think it was just straight up a mistake?
Like, he's done it 2 turns in a row now, so there's some thinking, there's some plan behind it. I just cannot for the life of me identify it.
You might just
feel
not
like
want
it
to
was
go
just
that
a
quick.
mistake.
He is in a dominant position. he genuinely might just be like thinking, I need to take it step by step. Wait until everything's surrounded. Again, I can't see why either. I'm trying to offer something here.
I guess
There we
the
go.
only thing I can
There
see
we
is
go.
he's worried about a Houdini.
Liberateur. The Liberateur wins. It is 1-2-1. Can I just say, it looks like you're gonna be correct here. You said
it all
1-1.
depends on if I'm able to, pull it out. I mean, if Justeeni's able to pull it out in game 3.
Yeah.
But
Violating your
I don't
contract.
know, like.
Now, let's just, a tougher sport for sure for Justeeni in that one. Had a couple of moments. Do you think it was the resignation at that point was the right decision? Do you think there was any sort of, obviously there's always a possible way forward, but do you think there was any sort of realistic route forward that didn't require a lot of heavy mistakes on the part of LeLib?
I feel it was a really fair resignation. It was, he gambled everything on stepping on that village in the east. which was a gamble that, I mean, as we saw, he really shouldn't have taken. And then once he lost that city, like what was there left to play for? You've got this giant coming down the middle of the map that you can't really do anything about. You've lost the water, like you're not pushing there. You're just down on villages income. Like he's got construction, he might like go into market soon. Like where you are in the game right now and where you're going to be in 10 turns are both looking really, really bad for you. So
this is
I think
true.
it was completely fair.
And again, I want to point out, Justeeni is someone that, even if there's a slight hope, will scrap to the end. But now we see LeLib in a unique position to be able to claw it back and go to the finals. For the first time in all of these qualifiers, I want to be clear, LeLib has been here since week 1 in every single qualifier and has amassed quite an impressive number of names and wins across that time, but never quite enough to string together a victory to be with a chance of going to Stockholm. Having seen how they play, do you still stick with the fact that Justeeni Lingueeni is going to be going to the final?
I gotta back Justeeni here.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put it on Justeeni to win the whole Zebasi tournament as well. It's like, they're all good players. They're all very good players. It all depends, but like I'm if you ask me, I'm saying Justeeni.
Okay.
You are asking me, so I answer.
Yeah. It's weird way to answer a question with "if you're asking me," but absolutely it was. Now, what could Justeeni what can he do? What lessons can he take from how LeLib is playing? How do you think he can prod a little bit more? Because my opinion would be to kind of stick with the expansion strat. I think that works really well to try and force LeLib into these spaces and places he doesn't really want to be in, and to take confrontations he doesn't want to do, because especially when there's increased amount of combat, he has to play that a little bit faster. Would you agree with that assessment? Feel free to disagree, by the way. You can be like, no, you're wrong.
But no, but like I would say you're wrong because you're right. Like, no, I think like we've seen both of them like maybe a little static in their strategies. Like,
yeah,
they don't want to dump too much time into figuring out new stuff, and maybe this is just what's been working for them in like practice.
Yeah,
this is one of the difficult things about being this good at like Polytopia. Your practice matches can be difficult to like optimize your strategy, because at a certain level, like the people that you're playing against, like for practice, like if you are just that much better than them, like whatever consistent strategy you have, like you're going to end up winning, and you're like, okay, but then you get to this level of competition and it really matters if you're optimizing for that. If both of them are going to go ahead and like do the same strategies again, I feel it wasn't the fact that Justeeni was going for this expansion strategy in game 2 that cost him.
Yeah.
I feel it was like him optimizing for it. Like things like not picking up the Lighthouse of his Rider, like, you know, losing the star there early on, made like, talked about it a lot, but it was 1 star. And then like something like going for the ruin instead of the village. Like we saw how much like pain Justeeni was in later on.
Yeah.
Like you know, getting Org to like try to upgrade that, just because like he had this veteran swordsman, which like how much did it really accomplish for him? Maybe it kept the giant away for a couple of turns. So
I think it's a really interesting point, and it's worth saying that one of the player that came second in the overall tournament last year, Slimming Boy, was someone who was a bit of an enigma. They didn't really know how he would play, and it plays into this idea that you've just presented, which is sometimes the unexpected can help. Now, not to compare, it's not like for like, let's be clear, but Magnus Carlsen in chess, the best chess player in the world, apparently what he'll do is he will intentionally make mistakes early on in the game to throw off his opponents. And equally with regards to Polytopia, doing something that seems a little odd, a little strange, and something you're not expecting, can do a lot. Now, I'm not suggesting that playing worse is actually playing better, but let's say you're in a close game and your opponent, let's say I'm playing against I Know Funny, which obviously I'd win, but let's say if I do something that he isn't anticipating and we're doing this sort of like rapid fire back and forth turns, that could force a mistake on his end, as he suddenly has to second guess because I've introduced the unknown. So, I like you say, it'll be interesting as well on the other side of the bracket to see how Polycrystal does, right? Because that's someone that isn't a name that we've seen. Every other name, to varying degrees of success, have been names that we've seen so far in this qualifying series, in this World Championships. Polycrystal is one of those that isn't. In fact, if you don't mind taking me through, let's say you're going to be playing against a known opponent and an unknown, right? How do you personally approach that? What's your kind of thought process? Is it, oh well, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna play it like any other game? Or are you trying to like maybe anticipate, oh, I know that LeLib likes to do this, I know Justeeni likes to do that, I know like Mr. Bomb likes to do that thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, you'll look for, like, different ways that people play. If you know that they're going to do something, like, you could just go ahead and, like, try to counter it. It is that kind of rock, paper, scissors-esque element to playing Polytopia, even. And I might be toxic for saying this, but if I don't know the player, like, the person I'm playing against, if I haven't seen them around the community or anything, I am very toxic. I'll just say, well, I'm going to win anyway.
Fantastic. Well, let's see if either of these players are thinking that right this second as Justeeni Lingueeni and LeLiberateur duke it out in the final best of 3 match. Take me through the start.
Yeah, and I mean, the same thing for Zebasi in the opening. If we saw anything other than, like, opening with the workshop, I would be shocked. Justeeni looks like he's taking a bit of time to decide where he wants to go. Yeah, southeast seems like the strongest option. There's too many water tiles around southwest, and you don't want to like run into your corner immediately. Like there should be a village up north, but there's no rush on going to grab it. So yeah, LeLib, he gets a kind of, I don't know, I'm gonna call it unfortunate, let's say. Not really, because it was where he decided to like push his warrior, but it's a little like he's running his warrior backwards, right? You know, you go grab the villages in the center, and then from there you expand like the most all the villages that you want to contest, like take from your opponent. But like running like down south to like the safest place, like the opposite of where Justeeni is not like catapulting his expansion by any means. But that's where the village ends up being, so can't fault him for that. Ooh, okay, Justeeni's, sorry, this is LeLib, never mind. Can't see anything, little oopsies there. No, Justeeni is the one who, started expanding a little bit backwards, and it's LeLib going for construction again. I wanna see, do we get, okay, Justeeni set himself up to go into a rider opening if you want. He picked up Org though, so fairly certain we're going to see like a capital upgrade on the second city, and then some warriors. Not riders yet. We'll get riders in a couple of turns probably. Yeah, a warrior on the west city? Yeah.
Take me through what you'd be doing if you're LeLib in this situation.
Well, since I've got construction already, I'm just looking at where I'm getting that giant. Like, where's all that population going to come from? I'm trying to set up those spots. Like, this explorer makes a lot of sense. It's a little risky just because of you don't have fishing yet. And, yeah, the way you're able to, like, run around the map. But you're very glad now to have met Justeeni, like, pick up those stars. You're just trying to expand out. There's this village in the southeast you gotta get. We'd rather just the east. There's the village southwest of your capital, southeast of your capital. You just need some warriors to pick those up while you're saving your stars trying to get your giant. Justeeni's gonna send this warrior up for a ruin. There's no village like immediately surrounding, just because of the proximity to the edge of the map and where this one that Justeeni's standing on is. He's got a pretty decent set of 5 cities. I'll have to run like quite some distance if he wants to pick up another city though. Yeah, this is interesting to me, the way that LeLib was going after this. I see the idea behind it though. I was immediately interested when he picked up the farm south of that Mozani city instead of the 2 west of it. I thought he would be going after the level 4 spot, like burning somewhere around his capital. But he's looking for the faster giant. He's going to burn the one single forest on this Mozana city and pick up all the population he needs for a giant. That's going to cost him 15 stars. And if you look at his like 6 stars he has now, 9 stars of income, what a coincidence. He's got exactly that. So I guess he's debating right now if he goes ahead and picks up a workshop and delays the giant. But yeah, it's better to get the giant next turn, and then the extra stars with Park Fortune. So construction from Justeeni as well. He recognizes that. I mean, yeah, just starting off with org too. Like much more in the economic route. Like there's this giant lake between them, and he's going to have to dump all the stars he can in there. Pretty solid start for Justeeni, but
Grabs an explorer.
just a little bit late.
See how he goes.
He runs backwards.
Oof.
Yeah. So I'm sure we're going to see. Okay, well, a star ruin that's helpful. Yeah, I'm sure we see the giant picked up from like LeLib now, especially after the star ruin. Like he had the stars to do it before.
But the stars give him more decisions. And again, look at his timer. The man who likes to think.
Yeah, already down a minute.
He's cursed with the thinking.
I guess, does he go fishing here right now? Or
And
does he
6
go
giant.
work,
Surely he goes fishing,
or
right?
does he just get a workshop? I feel like he's got to go fishing.
Yeah, you think? Nope.
He really wants to get that.
Right, I'm sending him a message right now. He's got to stop proving us wrong. Can't be doing that. Not live on stream.
Well, I'm really interested that he got the workshop on this Zimco city instead of the North one. Okay, but I see the idea now. I see the idea. He's gonna get both of them upgraded. I thought for sure he would want fishing and explore on that Zimco city, but he's going all in on just upping his income as much as possible. Smart.
We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, so Justeeni's like 3 turns out from picking up a 6th city. Yeah, and there it is. And yeah, this explorer is going to go ahead and meet, and not just meet, he just crossed that 3,000 point threshold. So a lot of stars for Justeeni. Basically the star ruin that LeLib just got. He's got construction now. He has plenty of stars. He just needs to decide how he wants to use them. And I mean, it's the same thing. He's just optimizing, like, to get that giant as quickly as possible. But we haven't seen Justeeni practicing like that kind of optimization like LeLib has been. I mean, LeLib's been like great at that kind of thing for like basically as long as he's been playing a specialist for that. And we're seeing the kind of like quick mental heuristics instead of like, you know, deep calculations from Justeeni. Like Justeeni's going for the like fast, like I know what to do, I'm gonna move, blah blah blah. Like just going for the quick workshop and then think after the workshop. But he's got plenty of stars right now. He's got plenty of income, so I'm sure we're going to see him pick up his own giant on the next turn. Like I don't know. I'd do a backflip if he didn't figure out how to get a giant. I'm interested in that burning decision. It was like a very expensive level 3 upgrade that might delay his giant even. But maybe, I think he just, he must have just counted out that he can still get the giant anyways with the 23 stars he'll start next turn. It's really interesting. There is this massive central lake between the 2 players that we're going to see them like competing with each other over. But neither player's really wanted to like put work in on it, and that's what Justeeni did so well out in game 1. That gave up the victory there. But it feels like he's playing a kind of losing game with like he's doing the same thing as LeLib with construction and everything, but he's just doing it slower.
You know, it does feel like a slower paced game, this one. It really does.
Oh, Justeeni by any means starting off the turn 23 stars. Yeah, there we go. Getting the giant on Zanmo. Was expecting a giant on that northeast Yayako city. But no, that makes more sense. He wants border growth there. He needs to get access to all the water tiles he can. Yeah, so giant there first. Does he drop a Park of Fortune on Yayako? Take 5 stars back. He can get border growth right now if he wants. Seems I'll say decently sensible. Not to, you know, overstate the case. No, on his capital instead. Yeah. He's looking at some pretty nice windmill spots too.
This is the first time I think that the time to like consistently at least that the turn timer has dipped below Liberateur's.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about like the construction optimizing your economy. Like those decisions you make now matter like 10 turns in the future. So there we go. He's got construction now. He's picking up roads. Yeah, both their capitals are landlocked, so we're not gonna see them connecting with ports. And fishing. Okay. Just a big tech buying turn before that. Like where you just saved like 4 stars there. Gonna go riding and hope for some roads from the ruin first. But explore instead.
Ooh.
No fishing yet, so not the best, but it does mean you won't have to expend any energy on getting that west lighthouse.
There you go.
Another population on the capital is great too, especially if he's putting his windmill where I think he's going to. I'm looking at like possibility of level 8 and level 5 markets down there. Oh, he's upping his. He's got better markets, yeah. He doesn't need to use the fruit in order to get that giant after the lighthouse. So saves a couple stars there, gets the giant anyways. Border growth already acquired. I think he gets border growth on Yayako too and just starts pushing everything in the water. But before that, he's going to have to get his markets up. It feels like he's a little slower. Like he doesn't have roads yet, and he doesn't have fishing. LeLib has both roads and fishing.
Yes. Now it's interesting as well to point out that the last qualifier, the Quetzali qualifier, that semi-final did have Justeeni Lingueeni versus Liberateur, and Justeeni Lingueeni went 2-0 against Liberateur. So he's going to be looking for some revenge now. He has clawed it to 1-1, so improving his record. But we'll be looking, of course, to enact a little bit of revenge and get himself into the finals.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
nice explore.
Justeeni is a little slower on getting his strategy set up, but he does have like compensation. His markets are just much better once he gets them, though. Like the problem is it's a case of once he gets them. He's got to wait for that. I don't see any immediate breakthrough though for LeLib, especially with the giants that Justeeni has. He should be able to defend. And like playing this game like 6 cities against 6 cities. Pick up roads before capture. And he doesn't have fishing. An explorer, I think he can't go for the water tower, so he just ends up going randomly around. I thought I was going to wait until he gets fishing and take an explorer there, but doesn't feel confident because it scoops around and then it curves up north instead of just heading straight up there. So workshop instead, and I think that's a smart decision anyways, just because he needs all the income he can get when he's trying to set up these markets of his. He's got roads, he's got construction, he just needs to get trade now. Like the plan is there, he just has to execute. LeLib's putting his own giants in the water, but Justeeni's are just more central. The places Justeeni has his ports are just like, well, he doesn't have any ports yet, but they're just better. There are 2 ways about it, more central. A very strong border growth from Justeeni over there. And I imagine when we see Yayako's border growth as well, help him out with the ports there. So Justeeni is able to pick up this East Lighthouse on the next turn. The problem for him in getting his Eye of God is going to be that North Lighthouse. There is this stretch of fog that leads straight to it, but doesn't really have anywhere to take an explorer from. So I feel like it's a kind of a pipe dream. LeLib needs 2 explorers, really, and I don't think either players has Eye of God in their immediate future. Interested to see this Zubo upgrade. I mean, it's a smart economical upgrade to just get the 5 stars back. But are we going to see a giant there? With, some burning around the capital, a little port connection. I guess like 2 ports like that.
Who do you think is going to be making this first move then?
I feel Justeeni wants to take us to the game where it's dictated by who has the better markets.
Yeah.
Because he has the better markets. LeLib's the one with the pressure on him to move. But it's a little weird because Justeeni's also the person who's in the better position to start making moves. And yeah, he gets the first market. And just with how far away these giants are that are heading in. And yeah, look at that. He's delaying his own giant, like heading towards the middle of the map, so that this warrior can get in the port. Like, I mean, it's just slow, really. Like, I think his attack is too slow. Like, Justeeni has enough time to get markets before he gets into the water. And then he'll just push with juggernauts and everything. Like, he should be fine here. Yeah, like, LeLib was the first to go into construction, but... Like, how much will it matter since he has one market spot, like a single level 30 market spot. I guess he can get a second market spot on his capital with that Zubo level 3, so he can get like 7 stars per turn. Justeeni's gonna have more than like all of LeLib's markets on one single market, and then he's gonna have like 5 more. I feel like LeLib needs to be like pushing for some early aggressive thing, but I'm not seeing the early attack for him. Taking an explorer here. Is he trying to go for that? He's deciding. He's spending some time deciding, and he goes for the workshop instead. Which I think makes sense. I don't think you're getting anything out of that explorer. Like, you'd want to be getting the South Lighthouse, but... Or he already has the South Lighthouse. He just needs the West one. So, trading kill is right there. The warrior that died in the east after the
look at the ton,
in the west.
by the way. Look at the ton, look at the kills. This is the definition. This is the most cagey game. I do feel important now to point out that these games do have an hour-long cap. If they do end up going an hour, then that is the end of the game, and it goes to a judge's decision to decide who wins. Now, often we do find that it's we've not had a single one where it has been tricky to decide. In fact, Justeeni was on the, I think it was Justeeni, I'm fairly certain it was on the losing end of one of those decisions. You can stall, but you can never win from those kinds of positions. But this one is very, like, let me look at the score, look at the stars now starting to come into their own for Justeeni, but the unit count's an interesting one as well.
Oh yeah. Like, LeLib's like working on getting his army actually going. He already has fishing, he already has his units in the ports and everything. But like the question is, Justeeni with these markets, with the income from his markets, will it be enough to just dump more stars into the water? I feel like it will be. I feel like he'll make it work, but it is a question. Like, he has to prove that like his strategy can work for him. You gotta be able to make it work. If LeLib is accurate enough and Justeeni makes enough mistakes, like in defending like a critical city, like over in the west, just look at the number of giants that LeLib can push down around there. If all 4 of these giants like head towards some of the more vulnerable villages that Justeeni has, you know, you steal one of those, and then just dominate on the water the whole time.
The interesting
trade for
thing
both players
as well is that it's not just about having a better position. We found in these kinds of games, it's about there's momentum swings in Polytopia, right? At one moment you can have a lot more stars, one moment you have more units, and it's about picking a moment when you think your opponent is going to be able to react worst and then pushing. That's kind of how you can flip the odds. That's kind of how you can push the action here. So you might have to think to yourself, when is LeLib going to be pulling the trigger and going to be pushing forward? I mean, like you say, he certainly looks like he's setting up for something there.
Yeah, I mean, he does have like double the giant count of Justeeni right now. I say right now only because, like, look at the income.
Yeah.
Like, it's just exploding, continuing. Like, Justeeni, he's going for 2 giants right now to upgrade that market as well.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. And I imagine like he's going to use his 55 stars, pick up some fishing, like get all these giants in the water the next couple of turns or something. And LeLib's got to be worried. Like we saw how cagey he was in that last game. I imagine the reason I came up with that he didn't want to siege was he was really worried, knowing Justeeni had like a Grand Bazaar, if Justeeni was able to pop a giant on that city and Houdini him. He has to be much more worried now, especially with the like level of income, the fact that Justeeni has construction to work with too. The Justeeni, or LeLib dominating the water right now, working to keep Justeeni out, but also he's doing it like behind 19 stars per turn right now. He's setting up his own markets, but I don't know, the markets are just not going to be as good as Justeeni. He just has these 2 markets. None of his other cities can support a market. Like maybe he could get a level 2 market on Zeboya.
So what do you do then if you're Justeeni?
You just keep making your markets.
Keep hoarding generational wealth.
Yeah, there we go. Another market. He's gonna get the market on Boacacia too. I've seen him do this kind of thing in Bullet as well. Like tiny maps. Like Justeeni is I don't know what to say, Zebasi freak. It sounds mean, but like I just mean that he does things with Zebasi that you don't see anyone else do, and you're like, why does it work for you? Because like he's not the first person who's wanted to be this greedy. Like there are plenty of greedy people out there, but like he just makes it work. Yeah, he's got 14 stars left. He's not even like turn 14, no fishing, just setting up crazy markets. You're getting some riders. Now this is really interesting. Riders are fantastic against an opponent who has like juggernauts in the water. Because I'm kind of interested that he got the market there instead of picking up border growth, like picking up the 1 higher level. But maybe this is just an easier giant. Who knows? Yeah, LeLib's like making all of these giants right, but where are they going? Usually he's like comfortable in this kind of position, like in the driver's seat, you know, the one with the, you know, construction with like windmills and markets and with all the income. But just look at the disparity of income, like 44 stars against that number. Like you gotta make some attack happen here. I think you're getting a little too comfortable with the idea that you're already in the water and you have this many giants. Like Justeeni's going to get more. Oh, we might see catapults too here. I guess Justeeni's big problem is that he never took an explorer with fishing, so he doesn't have vision on most of the water. Which those ranged units that he had potential to use, like catapults, could be really good at dealing with these juggernauts, but not without no vision. Feels like a double negative, but also feels grammatical. He cannot do that without having any vision. There's a certain requisite vision he needs. But yeah, Justeeni is able to get that maybe if he just like puts like you know, just puts up a port and then drops the rider and makes it a scout. He can
turn 15 right fishing, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, he's got all the stuff he needs. Yeah, it's just, it's still wild. It's still one killer piece. It's been an incredibly like. I think you nailed it on the head when you said Justeeni was. It's in his interest to sort of prolong, enjoy that difference in economy, enjoy the increased income. And LeLib, in my opinion, sort of just failed to take the initiative and failed to take action. Whether or not it's because he didn't feel like he needed to, but you have to wonder what was the thought process behind this half push. You know what I mean? Earlier, as now we start to see Justeeni in a situation where he feels comfortable pushing.
No, you can't see my face right now. I just started like my jaw dropped and I just started smiling as soon as I saw the bridge over there.
Yep.
Oh. That I thought he was just going to drop a couple of ports down, but no, Justeeni's he's going for the jugular here. Whoa. I'm delighted. I'm delighted at what I'm seeing right now. So he is giving up, like, you know, the splash damage those Juggernauts do is not as much as the attack. He's effectively giving the first attack to LeLib here with those Juggernauts, but yeah, just the number of riders, like, he's really limiting where those Juggernauts can go. And, like, he's getting himself established on the water perfectly fine. He's trying to get these, like, diplomacy and, like, start cloaking. He sees the border growth cities, but your opponent has a lot of Juggernauts that do splash damage and riders, and you don't have a lot of places to, you're not controlling the water well enough. I don't think diplomacy's enough. I don't see the winning strategy from LeLib's side here. And it looks like such a tough game for Justeeni.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the start, but
well, this is the thing. Like,
no, he figured out this market.
He does kind of struggle to push the pace when he's the one that needs to. And now we're gonna have to see that put to the test here.
But yeah, I mean, Justeeni's kind of forcing the confrontation with everything he's done with pushing these giants in to the water. But yeah, look at the Juggernaut that just got pushed up to the land in front of all these riders. All these riders are going to get some damage without any retaliation at all. Like, we're going to see that Juggernaut just vanish effectively. I think Justeeni might buy climbing and drop his 21 health Juggernaut up on that mountain and get some vision on his opponent. But it depends on how risky he wants to play it. Yeah, there we go. Melting the giant away. And yeah, just vanished. Yep, there we go, climbing.
Here we go.
Sending the rider up there. Yeah, the rider first. Does he want to send it? Okay, the 40 health giant's gonna go. What do you do if you're 21 health Juggernaut? You retreat it to heal?
Again, it's crazy asking yourself these questions. Sure.
Well, it's you know, the piece of advice they give, you know, you hear it in chess, it applies to Polytopia too. You just look at, like, all of your units, and you just ask them, like, where do you want to be right now? What do you want to be doing? And if you can, like, you know, say honestly that you're doing right by them, and you're, like, you know, maximizing their potential and everything, then you can, like, say that you've played a good game. And, you know, like, me asking myself, like, what do I want to do with my giant? Do I want to just heal my giant? I am using a bit of, like, third person there, but the sentiment's really the same.
This is such a ridiculous slog, man. I love it. It's such an odds with the first two games, you know?
I mean, Justeeni's got, like, twice the income now. We're seeing, like, an attempt at an attack with cloaks, but I don't think LeLib is able to create the space, and I think he's getting hemmed in. I think he's going to try to push this cloak around the east, but Justeeni should be able to. Should be able to what is the question? Should be able to steal a city? What's the killer blow here? I'm asking myself again. Maybe Zubo. When Zubo falls, like, he needs to. I mean, again, like the game one. What are his barriers to progress? Yeah. These Juggernauts.
I mean, I don't want to be too technical, but when he takes Boko, that will end the game.
I think your statistics are spot on with this one.
Yeah, if you take your opponent's capital, they lose. It is, you know, in 100% of the games that I've analyzed, when that's happened, it's been over.
What about glory games?
Is that what we're casting over? So, catch me out live on air.
What about? You caught me there. You got me there.
Let me put it this way. I have a piece of paper in front of me with your current address that I will show to the stream if you undermine me again, okay? Anyway, I'll unmute the stream now. All right, cool. So, yeah, fantastic. Look at this. Look at this game. Now, what do you think Liberateur has to do? Like, again, we can be coy as we like, but he is ultimately on the back foot significantly. And it looks like he's pushing in now. You think there's a gap there he can exploit?
He's pushing everything in. He's trying to pressure this city with the cloak as well. The problem is, look at the number of stars he has, right? Like, he's pop capped on this Zeboya city over in the east. He would love to get another cloak and start, you know, a proper chain of cloaks, like one after the other, but he's just not able to. He doesn't even have free spirit to like disband a warrior or something over there. And that's assuming that he's able to go ahead and pick that up in the first place. I think Justeeni, like with 73 stars per turn, border growth on this city, he's got the port spots. He is able to push another giant over there, but I think he's going to have to pull his 40 health giant on the mountain back. Now this is if I can go back and like pat myself on the back, I liked the idea of sending the 21 health giant onto the mountain because it's really weak where it is. Like you're not getting the chance to heal it. It's not doing a ton for you in terms of defense. But it could be, and you need that 40 health giant. Like I think Justeeni's gonna need to pull it back. I think he could have pushed if he had left the 21 health giant up there. Okay, a meditation ruin in the heat of the battle. It's getting him closer to philosophy, I guess, if he wants to go for his genius monument. If he needs some quick population to pick up some giants somewhere. But yeah, Justeeni just needs to spam out some units to help him defend that Yayako city. If he can like take out a couple of giants at a time, like he just needs to like push the first giant and then kill whatever like the 2 giants on the turns remaining. Like keep that city. Should be a-okay. He's not getting cloaked next turn either, and it seems difficult for it to happen. Yeah, and the giant's running backwards. But a really nice pickup too, Aquatism after ramming.
Really?
That 1.5 times defense bonus is just massive, just huge. Like, Lilib's going to notice that. If he was having trouble on the water before. And this is why, like, I mean, obviously, I think I don't have to say why people like playing with this much greed. Like, why would I, not have all the stars in the world when I could have all the stars in the world?
Yeah, no, eventually he could just simply pay Lilib to lose the game.
You think I would do? I mean, you think Justeeni would do that? But yeah, the big question is, does Justeeni have what it takes? Like, not have what it takes. Does he have the population he needs to push a giant off the city? Does he have the damage with his? Like, does he have enough damage with his units to? Yeah, like actually keep the city up. Advancing in far. The giant on the bridge blocking the scout from reaching that vulnerable 10 health. But we should probably see some damage dealt to the riders, warriors. Oh, some splash damage in the west instead. I think, yeah, this Juggernaut just blocks that tile west of it. Yeah, now the Justeeni has to block. Or sorry, he has to giant push.
Yeah.
The good news for Lilib too is that he has enough lift for himself there. He has enough tiles left for him that he's in no danger of getting Houdini'd when the giant push happens. And I am saying when the giant push happens because Justeeni has the stars. He has the population. Yeah, the question is about the cloaks, really. Will the cloaks be able to do it if he gets another siege on the next turn? Yeah, but I mean, Justeeni should have enough damage to like completely kill a giant on the next turn, though. Especially how he's able to surround this. It feels like we're going to see. My prediction is that Justeeni pushes the giant off. He gets cloaked and sieged over there with a giant, but throws the giant. Lilib realizes that like if the attack doesn't work, if Justeeni is able to pull, we're probably going to be at resignation at that point. Although who knows? This is the last game. This is his series. Like he's not beholden to. any of us.
He'll be
You might
dumped out
just
of
keep
yet
fighting to the bitter end.
another tribes qualifier. Rough.
Yeah, you might
you know?
push to Boko.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. We'll probably see LeLib in the Shin finals, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. What turn then, do you
I'm
think?
thinking. Turn 19 is my prediction.
Turn 19?
Yeah.
I'm going turn 20.
It's going to be extended if Justeeni doesn't have the population somehow to push this giant.
You should do, right?
Yeah. I'm shocked actually. It's turn 17. Look at the kill count.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I was wondering about the monuments. Yeah, like Justeeni's not getting his killer monument. How? It's turn 18.
They really haven't been fighting. Have you seen how many giants are on both sides? Usually we have like 1 or 2 topple. There's a bit of a push. Like it's just they have really not wanted to fight each other. Which again, I want to point out. I was saying how that suited LeLib in terms of playstyle more in the first game, and it's Justeeni feels like he's the one that was sitting back a bit more.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for LeLib, he's identified where that cloak is.
Yeah.
He didn't need to move his giant like that to figure this out. You saw the icon of your warrior first, and then you saw it again.
She just wanted to double check. He doesn't trust the warrior's eyes. There we go. Kill 5.
But yeah. But he doesn't have enough to kill the giant on the city. Does he have the population to push? And then if he does, he does have a Houdini here, but only if he has a population. Like literally, okay, 4, 5, 6. He needs 8 population. I'm seeing 6 port spots for him. Yeah, he doesn't have spiritualism, so he can't burn unless. What was under that market? If he destroys it, he doesn't have chivalry though. He doesn't have the population to push. He's got the 5 port spots. Like he doesn't have a monument. If he had a monument, he would have pushed here. But okay, so I said something very erroneous about Justeeni just pushing this giant and not losing the city.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Justeeni's plan should instead of just deflecting the attack here, it should be to take the city back. His plan is to just take the city back.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But this is very good news for LeLib. Oh wait, does he? Does he have a monument he's sort of?
There it is.
Yeah, okay.
Justeeni
Yeah, he was about to.
Lingueeni does win. Were you right? What turn was that?
That was turn 18. He realized before.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he's getting pushed that it's over.
There you go. Well, we have our first finalist, and it is Justeeni Lingueeni.